and welcome to another episode of Prototech Pursuit. And as you can see here, we've got Prototech. Oh my god, we actually have done it. We got our first Prototech blocks. Let's pop out a spectator camera and take a better look at these. As we managed to get both a Prototech drill and a small grid Prototech refinery. Ah, man, I really needed this back when I was driving around with a basic refinery strapped on my head. But no, I had to find it now, and I have actually very small amount of use for this block. I mean, I'm gonna connect it up to my ship somehow because it's a Prototech block. Why not? But it's funny that it's like, I could have used you when I was driving around down there and I had a giant hat of a Prototech, of like a regular basic refinery. And it was silly. But yes. We are currently on our way, drifting towards the parking spot. And not too fast, that's okay. We need time to talk, as we have to figure out what we're going to do next. We have managed to take out our first Prototech encounter back at that asteroid. We took a beating, to put it plainly there. I died several times going into the tunnels, and the ship here took a lot of damage. Turrets missing, something's flaming, more turrets missing, armor missing, the hydrogen tank got punched through and I had to repair it by grinding down various bits around the ship. I have since done some of those spot repairs, got this thruster replaced, you know, stuff like that, just so I could limp back to my parking spot. However, this thing needs some further repairs, as well as, I think, some retrofits. We have a choice. Where do I go from here in terms of what ship is going to do combat and what ship is going to do logistics and refining and such? And I'm pretty sure that this ship here would best be served as a combat vessel. As, yes, it's got refineries and everything, that's nice, which would be good. It's always good to have a little bit of redundancy in all your ships. But I think that if I armored this thing up, changed some stuff to heavy, I mean, I could conceivably remove the refineries and add more fuel to this thing. I could do that kind of thing. Armor up the belly here. I could remove all of these drills and add better gun setups on the front, as well as possibly clearing up some gun angles. I think this ship would serve as a better combat vessel. And that's what we could do. Then we can take this new Prototech drill, and we could go through and create a refining mining vessel that works with this drill. And it has like the form factor of the drill. Wouldn't that be kind of cool? And so, you know, like those tunnel boring machines they use to like dig the tunnels underneath like canals and stuff like that, like the ones they use to dig the tunnel from France to England. What if I made a ship that was the form factor of this one drill? I think that would actually be kind of cool. And I could just have it as like this tunnel boring mining ship that is capable of going in and just worming its way through an asteroid. I think I want to do that. Then I've got this ship freed up to be a badass combat vessel. I think that's the plan. But for now, we're just going to get ourselves parked up and go over all the damage and also all of the loot, because we've got a lot of stuff that we have picked up from that encounter. We got magnetism there. I don't want to press P because that thing's currently being connected up. So I just come back here and manually do it. Switch lock. Wonderful. We are all connected back up. So, what was my loot? Well, I should have everything on this grid being my loot. So we look at the large cargo container here. We've got a little railgun Sabo. That's fine. Put that in here. We have Prototech. Let me pull it all up to the top here. I want to take a look at it all. I think that's it. Prototech. Because we do also have a couple bits of Prototech. We have the frame and the circuitry and such that we found previously. But if we look at that, we got like 8 scrap, 1 frame, 1 circuitry. And now look at what we found in just this single encounter. We have 4 capacitors, 5 propulsion units, 2 machinery, 26 panels. That is amazing amount of Prototech found. Of course, we're not able to construct any of this Prototech yet, as we don't have a Prototech assembler. We will have to find one of those, but it is just extra goody stuff to have. We also got a nice little assortment of various high value components here. Things like thruster components, 426. That'll go a long way in repairing the jump ship's thrusters. 2,000 reactor components, which will be a nice large reactor if I need it. Or, honestly, just a plethora of small reactors spread across all my various vessels, as I don't really have huge power requirements right now. Should work. And 200 superconductors. Excellent. That is a fifth of the way to another jump drive, as it needs 1,000. So, adds a bunch of gold for free. Not that I can complain. Got a little bit of gold as well. Some other high value materials like some platinum and some silver, as well as uranium ingots. Although some of them, I believe, have already been sucked into the warfare reactor. I might have to... Yeah, it's consuming them. I should turn that off. I don't want that to eat all my power. I want my uranium, damn it. How much in total? Pull that in here. We've got 32 kilograms of uranium, which could be amazing for railgun sabos, which require that little bit of uranium. Or we can go artillery, as those also require that. Just a sprinkling of uranium to build. Other than that, we got some excellent raw materials. We got some platinum. We got some uranium. I mean, there's some basic raw materials like magnesium, nickel, but whatever. We don't really need those. They're not as important. I could easily find those. But some platinum, some uranium. That is always nice to have. And then, yeah, a smattering of other random materials and a whole bunch of guns, a couple rockets, some sabos already. I could deconstruct those for more uranium, but I'll probably keep them around. Then we can look at the damages. Because this ship, oh, it got shot up. Oh, it definitely got shot up. I've already done some repairs. This thruster was replaced. This conveyor had to be repaired. We've got a whole bunch of bent armor around here, which will need to be straightened out. I'll probably do that off camera because that's honestly kind of boring. I don't know if there's any functional block in this space right here. Was there? I kind of have the feeling that this was just armor. If I go on this side and check, underneath the very edge, yeah, it's just armor over there. So, that's not too bad. Just losing a bit of armor. Again, here, just the armor on the top. The gyros are fine. O2H2 generator's fine. Unfortunately, we lost the conveyor, which we can replace right now. And so this assault turret can get its ammo again. That is very important. Also got to make sure that that O2H2 is fully operational. and that the conveyor behind it looks good. All right. Other than that, speed modules damage. I'm not sure. Is there really anything else that is damaged on this grid? Incomplete thrusters, but that's on the other grid. One of the drills damaged. There's an access denied connector. I bet that's on the module, with the habitat module at the end. Other than that, we actually came out of here pretty scot-free. I mean, what did we lose anything? Really? I mean, a couple turrets. There was that time during the combat where our hydrogen tank got punctured and we had to emergency repair it. But aside from that, looks pretty good. I mean, oh no, we lost a conveyor right here. I believe I should be able to grab materials for this. No? And fixed. I mean, that was easy. Lost another conveyor right there. You know, just some basic ones. Nothing that important. Oh, wait, no, it wasn't a conveyor. It was a conveyor and... Aha! This conveyor coming forward. Because this is like a pipe of some kind, and then there was a conveyor junction, and then a thruster backwards. Okay, so we have lost a couple bits here. But I think overall, this ship came out relatively unscathed. That is excellent. Alright, and with a few spot repairs, this ship is okay for now. We don't have a lot of fuel. If we pop into a menu here, our tank here is low, 22.5%. It is being filled back up. How much ice do I have in storage? Oh, I actually do have a good amount of ice right now. I have, oh god, I got actually a good amount of ice. I've got majority of 1 million ice, like 850,000. That's actually really good. So let's get all of our O2H2s on. Why don't we? Let's get them on. Let's get them running. Let's get that tank filling up. Fueled in an hour. Wonderful. And our batteries were depleted in 5, but the batteries on this grid depleted in 15. Okay. We're okay then for a while. We also, if we really need it, we do have the reactor that we can fall back on now, because we do have the uranium to spend on it, although I don't want to because it's my uranium and I haven't found uranium, and I want to keep all my uranium for myself right now. But get the refineries. The basic ones are all off right now. The 2 actual refineries are on. I'll just flip everything on. Let's go into full work mode here. And I'm thinking we make a ship that fits the form factor of this drill. I think that would look so cool. Let me grind off these cool couple caps. I can totally use those. I wonder, could I put braking thrusters on the drill like this? This is something I'll need to test. Of if left clicking with the drill would give me enough width to give braking thrust. Because I don't know. We'll have to find out. And this little guy, I'm thinking I should just attach you somewhere over here. All these large cargo containers are just going to be here for now because they will. And I'm thinking that refinery, I might attach to our little habitat pod that we leave somewhere, because That would be the perfect thing to have if I get reset back to the habitat pod. Is a Prototech refinery there. I'd be able to just take care of everything. But while we think about that, I'm actually going to get us moving because the sun is setting at this location and it's going to go behind the planet. So I am going to take this whole thing here, angle it upwards, and we're going to start traveling into space so that I can continue doing this in the light. So if this is going to have the form factor of this drill, I mean, theoretically, I could also add some drills outside of it, too. Like, I could make this a tiny bit wider myself. Oh, man, that requires so much stuff to build a Prototech one. But I could conceivably add some drills like this. I could use that for these exterior bits. Although I don't know if turning this drill on would damage this thing. Damage the Prototech panels. That is a very important thing. I will experiment with that on a different save. I don't want to break this right now. But I think we'll obviously want to have a cargo container right onto it, right? Because then that way we can have all of our goodies be stored, and also that's got a pretty good form factor with the industrial cargo container. I think that will look beautiful. I just gotta just keep checking where I'm going, make sure I don't run into an asteroid. Then ion-based, hydrogen-based. I honestly think maybe about a hydrogen-based thing with it at the end. Oh, that might look good. So in the middle here, I'm going to have some sort of conveyor junction section that's going to be like, say, 5 long. And in this section, this is where like the cockpit and all that kind of stuff will be. I could even potentially have like the cockpit being just slightly above. Like so. I mean, this is all just to lay it out. We're going to figure it out. And then this is where like H2O2 generators would be, that kind of stuff. Then at the end, we have an industrial fuel tank. Then a connector. Connector like that at the end of the tank. It looks kind of cool. I'd have to figure out how I want to do thrusters, which might just be like thruster packs on the sides. Where I could also, theoretically, I could make something kind of cool looking here. I could do, I mean, I can just do a regular tank, but those kind of look boring. I could do like industrial tank, flip it over, industrial tank. So it's got this sort of like pincering in section. And then I can put a thruster on here. Nice big industrial thruster. Ooh. Or even, just get rid of that tank, have the tank like so, have that industrial thruster, which a little bit shorter. But I mean, this is actually kind of cool. And then in this in-between section here, this 5-ish blocks, of course I can adjust this as I need, would be your gyros, your all that kind of stuff would all fit in that space. And then this ship would have probably, because coming off of here, there would be like junctions like so, and then they would be coated in thrusters in every single direction. This is where you can get some braking thrust. Oh, and I could totally keep this a little bit thinner for the form factor by not having these exterior thrusters like this, because this thruster and this thruster are providing the thrust this way. I don't need this one here technically, it would be okay without it. So I could just put like a panel there or some kind of cap. And I mean, even if this thing doesn't give a wide enough berth in order to allow this to easily go into the hole, like if the left click of this drill doesn't do that, I mean, honestly, if I'm drilling in and I get this entire ship depth in before I have, like, if I'm not hitting the resource by then, I'll just right click drill and make a hole that's definitely going to be big enough, or like then I'll be able to left click drill to get out the resource. So I think this will work. And then it's just the center here of how much do I want to have in this center section. And what we can do is bring this up and over and back to connect this up so I can slice this bit out without it falling apart. And then I can even ask myself, like, oh, what, one cargo container? Do I want two? What else am I going to put in this space? Like, 2 cargo containers. Pretty good. Then we can put something like an H2O2, because, you know, it was always good to have a little bit of ability to create your own fuel. Maybe this ship won't have much ability to make its own fuel, but just needs an emergency one in case. I'll probably just, like, fuel up from the main whatever mothership I'm going to build. And then it just needs some sort of seat, some sort of cockpit, and some gyros and some batteries. And this thing is essentially planned out and done. Like, it's not going to be a very complicated ship, that's for sure. I mean, theoretically, I just even put as a control seat right here. I mean, that would be good enough. It would work. There's a beacon over there, which I can just barely see it rendering. I think we've moved far enough to not care about the sun setting on us anytime soon. Let's slam on some brakes here. Get into a turret. And where is this bad guy that I spotted? Oh, there's something out there. I don't know what exactly that thing is, but it's something. There's another Mayday up there. A little too far outside of render range. But there it is. There's somebody out there. Not that I actually want to go and fight him today. Because I still need to lick my wounds. We are not in a fighting capacity right now. But for now, I think I can actually just start getting this thing built up. I mean, bare minimum, I just need to get a battery, the H2O2, a single gyro, a couple of the thrusters built, and then I can detach this thing and maneuver it around and get it attached up to this grid through the conveyor system, figure out how I want to connect it up in the future, and get this thing charging and fueling up. Because this thing's going to be awesome. Great little driller. Oh, got the thruster. All right. Ooh, wrong thruster here. Accidentally put some materials into the thruster as I flew by. All right, that's connected to that. We've got some power here. Just a little bit. We've got this H2O2 generator, which should be enough if I seed it with ice to get this thing kick-started. So if I grab some... Get rid of those grids. Grab some ice. 10,000 should do just plenty for now. That's getting kick-started. This is starting to fill. Excellent. So I just got to get a couple more thrusters prepared so I can maneuver. And with that, this drill bit is ready to fly. And I can disable this magnetic plate here. Grind this back. We don't need this little arm anymore. And think about how I want to attach this thing. Which, for now, I think I'm just going to put it on the side here. I'm going to take this. I'm going to... There is a mining carriage, 6.8. I gotta take a peek at that. I might have to move. Let's get into one of my assaults again. Ooh, that's kind of coming towards us. I don't like that. Okay, I don't like that. Let's just slap this back on, please. Let's get this connected up and start moving. Turn off the dampeners here. Get back in the main ship. Turn away. There we go. Now we're gaining distance from it. Okay. Oh my god. I'm trying to do anything out here, and I'm just getting harassed. Actually, at the rate at which I'm slowing down, which is horrible, although I could really use the thrusters on the other ship here. Yeah, this thing will slow me down quick. Activate my dampeners, and this thing is just going to go down to 0. Hell yes. Let's slow ourselves down quick. Wonderful. That should be far enough. Wait, is this thing still coming towards us? It's still coming towards us at a good speed. Oh my god. Am I just gonna have to coast away from this thing constantly? I have to set it like 20 meters a second to actually gain on it. This thing, it's after us. I think this is the one I want. Yes, it is. No, it's just coming down past us on an angle. So once it passes our plane, it should start getting further away from us. Okay. But that's okay. We can coast at 20 meters a second. There's nothing in front of us. We're far enough away from the planet. So I think for now, I'm just going to put a connector on the side of this thing here. I think that'll work. And we can put a connector on the side here. Possibly pop this out a few points to make this a little bit easier. And now, yeah, that mining carriage is gone. Okay. Now I can put the brakes on. Excellent. From here, we can, again, disable this. Cut this back. And we'll just maneuver ourselves over here. Rotate. And connect up. And park. Excellent. At least now we're sharing power. And I just need to get these two cargo containers built. Then we can also share resources. And then I totally want to go over to a asteroid and try tunnel boring with this thing. Now with everything built, that tank as well, the industrial hydrogen tank, is getting fuel. Excellent. Might have to strip a little bit of its fuel from our main tank here, but we can point ourselves at an asteroid and take ourselves over there and try out our new super drill. Right. And on this asteroid here, what do we have? We have stone. Very good. We have iron. Stone and iron. Okay. There is iron somewhere over there. Oh, that is another thing. We need an ore detector on this drilling ship. That's kind of important, you know. We can slap that down right beside the batteries here, I think. That, or I could put it on a roof. Not 100% sure how I want to do that, but we can figure it out. Slap it down right there for now. Get that built up. Now, before we head on in with our drilling ship, we gotta get this little guy out of the way, because he's not doing so good. So what we're going to do is we're going to unlock him, and then I have installed the grabbies hands thing. So I can, if I'm not auto-dampened to him, I can get it a little bit of motion with the ability to grab it. So I should be able to just get that floating in the right direction, and then hopefully get it close enough to the ship. I can slap down a mag plate somewhere, wherever this thing ends up floating to, and we can mag plate it to the ship. And then later on, I'll need to make a little tugboat or something like that to be able to move this thing around easier, so we can get it in position and then build something on it. But for now, we'll give it just another little tug. That direction, please. And let it coast its way onto my ship. It's right above the mag plate. So just grab it and down. Gotcha! Perfect. And I do not believe it is in the way of any burning. Excellent. It can live there for the next foreseeable future. Alright. Let's go jump into our uber-duper drill ship and get a little hydrogen in our tank. We will stockpile and rip out, say, 20%. Should be more than enough for us to do this little adventure. And detach. Okay, this thing's got a lot of gyro. Let's head on over. And I think this thing's got a lot of spunk because it's light right now, and it's got a big thruster in the back, so I can just go like brrr and push it real hard, real fast. Brrr. Oh my god. Gotta get our backwards here. Minor backwards. Gotta get that group set up. No, that's the wrong thing here. I got out of the ship at the wrong time. Need to be able to toggle that off so I can turn the backwards thrusters off and then just maneuver this ship around. I am searching for some iron. Iron, where are you? Hey, iron! It's on the surface too. How nice. And so, let me just pop out here. I want to get rid of this connector. I'll probably reposition it back onto like a thruster or something at this into future. But for now, we can... Oh, there's stuff in the connector. Oh no. There's stone there. We can position ourselves. Move on in. And it's dark. Oh, okay, I'm not doing this while it's dark here. I gotta get spotlights on this thing. Ugh. Alright. Alright. Let me go back and get some spotlights. And you know what I actually want to do? I mean, I could change it back here, but I kind of got everything else aligned this way, where it's like this way I'm currently looking at is up for the thing, but I've got these ports on the top and bottom. I kind of want them on the side. I wonder. Oh, I can put. Can I attach spotlights to this on its side? Yes. Ooh, I can. I can attach spotlights on this side. But only on certain angles. What is this? Why is that? Floodlight. Corners. Floodlights angled. Just regular floodlight. No, okay. I'll have to figure out something here to have some proper lights for the front of this thing. As this is not going to work. Might have to put the lights back here. That'll give me some light on each side at least. And what I think I want to do is that I could put some lights here, I believe, straight on. But I want those to be on the sides, not the top and bottom. So I think I'm going to detach this thing and reattach it. So I'm going to go get the materials for a couple welding plates, because that's how we'll reattach it here. We can hold control with the advanced welding mod. We can detach and then back up slightly. Get back out, and we can reattach it with the weld pads. And then simply rotate 90 degrees. And bada bum, we're reattached. And now, with those on the sides, I think what I can do is I could add some lights going forward. Regular old spotlights? Or we could get floodlights. I think just some floodlights here would work wonderful. Excellent. Now I can jump back in our seat and in our lights. We can set them up. I like to put them into an off-white, sort of beigey color. I think that looks better. Get our radius, get our intensity up. Ooh, yeah, now we can see what we're doing. We might even, you know, install a camera or something on this in the future. Make it be more swanky. But for now, we've got iron to drill through, which I think what I am going to do is I am going to put that large thruster on its own toggle. Because that way, when I'm doing this, like, fine mining, I want the thruster off. While I'm traveling, I can use the thruster. Let's get to drilling. Oh, yeah, baby. We are going to slurp up all the iron we could ever need in just a few moments here. Oh, hell yeah! And now we can test this. If I go in, am I going to clip those lights? Yes, I am clipping the lights. Okay, so this thing cannot tunnel with those lights. Good to know. I might have to reposition them. But at least for now, we are getting, oh, so much iron. We already have over 1 million ore. Oh my god, and we've just been tunneling for just like a moment here. This ship is going to be able to get me so much resources. Oh, it's going to be amazing. Oh, and I think we are actually full. 2 large cargo containers with a couple million ore. And then the drill itself is almost full. We can pull ourselves out of that hole and get positioned, ready to drift back to our ship here. Oh, this thing is awesome. We're going to get so much ore with this thing. It is going to be absolutely nutty. And we are connected. Bada bum, bada bing. Hells to the yeah. And that is now being brought into our refinery systems. The refineries, although they're going away on magnesium right now, we can go to that beautiful, beautiful iron ore and throw it in there and go, just please process infinite quantities of iron for me. Why don't you? Oh, yeah, baby. Oh, my God. I am excited as we have so much materials now. We can go hard on building in the next few episodes, as I think in the next episode we're going to take this logistics ship. It has served us well, and it will continue to serve us in its future role as our main combat vessel, as we do not need it for mining anymore. We have this miner, and we could, I don't know, conceivably upgrade this thing to add a little bit of refinery to it, but I think I'm just going to keep this as a straight-up mining ship. Then this thing will become a combat vessel, pure and simple. We'll maybe replace the refineries on it. We have our jump ship. We have our little hab, which I need to find a spot. We can leave that behind somewhere. And then I think we need to make some sort of mothership for all this to dock to. We need to make a ship that is less of a large, all-encompassing vessel, and I'm thinking it more of like a floating rigging, as it would be like a movable dockyard where we would have spots built into it for all of these ships to connect to. And then while the sort of dockyard is moving around, it is a big, like, resource repository. It would have like a bunch of large cargo containers. It would have like half a dozen refineries with like speed modules on them. Like, it would be all set up this big industrial section with all these docks. It would be like a mobile space station. I'm thinking that's what I want to build. Just some way to connect all of our various ships together so that I can take that thing, move it around, and then go on missions from it and come back to it. I think that's going to be pretty cool. But in the next episode, what we're going to do is we're going to get traveling. That one's gone in 10 minutes, but I mean, there's some other identified signals here. Next one that pops up, we can start traveling towards it, as we do have a jump drive, and we could possibly build a second. And we would be able to possibly get close and have this thing outfitted for combat and try to take another place and get some more Prototech parts. But that's going to be it for now. We have a new Prototech drill rig, and I am so excited about it. Thanks for watching. Good hunting out there, fellow space engineers.